Yes! Here we go!
We're back. Before we jump into today's show topic, let's start the show with the usual remarkable story I came across on Reddit. Guys, don't forget to let us know your opinion about this story in the comments.
I'm
I'll
curious.
show the banner now.
I'm curious.
Is my boyfriend wrong for dedicating his book to Ochi?
Yo, hey, yo,
Yo.
yo, yo, what the heck? Who's? I want to hear this one.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
start.
Of course, rest in peace, OJ. But I thought this was
I don't
this
think
was
everyone would
relatable.
agree with that.
And we're gonna talk about it later on. So let's jump into it right now. My boyfriend of and this is a story of 3 years ago, by the way. My boyfriend of 5 years has many great traits, but one very weird quirk is that he's convinced OJ didn't do it.
He's confused. He
He's
was there.
seen he's seen every documentary and miniseries and still thinks OJ is innocent. His explanation of who he thinks did it is probably even crazier than other OJ truthers. But he's not a conspiracy theorist other than this, so I mostly let it go. He spends a lot of time reading about and watching OJ related content, and it's just become a hobby that I ignore. He recently self published a book unrelated to OJ. It's just science fiction. I read all his drafts and helped him edit. Perhaps narcissistically, I thought I would be the person to whom he dedicated his book. It wasn't until I ordered it and I opened and saw it was dedicated to effing OJ. Now I know. Come on, man. Keep it together. Now I know it's his right to do whatever he wants. Now I know it's his right to do whatever he wants. But I wouldn't have been upset if he dedicated it to his mom or something. But he's never met him. He said he hoped the book would go big. People would buy it and be thrown off by the dedication,
What?
which talks about his innocence. So OJ's innocence. And this would open the Pandora's box to the world. I asked him why not just write a book about him. Then he said because it would be harder to market given that he wasn't involved in the case and isn't in law. So his hope was to write a science fiction book that would be the next viral novel with the secret agenda of highlighting OJ. He also was hoping OJ himself would see it. I'm aware OJ isn't even in jail. My boyfriend acts like he is. He says even if OJ is free, he's not truly free because people only know him as the man who unalived his wife and not a great athlete. He's telling me none of this affects me, so I'm in the wrong to be so offended. But come on, this just feels like delusion, and it makes me angry that I helped him edit a book that turned out to be some OJ related secret plot. So, KR,
What's her question?
is he wrong? Is she wrong?
Is she wrong?
Yeah. For thinking the way she's thinking about. So
Is it?
is the boyfriend wrong for dedicating the book to OJ? And actually the question is the girlfriend wrong for being mad at the boyfriend
She wrote the
dedicating?
editor, right?
She edited a great part of the book. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess she's not a killer editor.
I guess not.
No, but all jokes aside, I'm not sure. Well, if it's his hobby and it's his secret plot of the, it doesn't make any sense to be honest. This whole story is kind of
I think instead of an editor, he
what to
should have
think
looked.
about this story. This is crazy.
Yeah.
This is actually crazy. I didn't expect this story.
No, I know.
I don't think she's wrong. I don't think he's right. I don't think he's wrong. I don't think she's right. I just think it's a crazy story. I have no opinion on this one.
Yeah. Just like the OJ story. Um, So
Oh
my
man.
thoughts when reading it, my first thought was, I think instead of looking for a asking his girlfriend to edit the book, it wouldn't have been a bad idea to spend a little bit of money on at least a consultation meeting with a marketeer, because the marketing is terrible. But yeah, it's a crazy story. I think I wouldn't I don't I think it is I think it's just is what it is. If this is bothering her, I don't know, it's 3 years ago, so maybe they're still together, maybe they're not. But if, I mean, something like that is bothering you, then, and it's a
Well,
deal breaker, then just move on. And if it's not, then just ignore. I'm gonna read some comments. One person said, and I'm curious, of course, to know, guys, what your opinions are. So please let us know in the comments below as well. First comment: I wouldn't be upset, definitely perplexed and entirely convinced of his insanity, but not upset. If he wanted to go big, putting a dedication to OJ is probably not the best idea. That's like writing a fantasy novel and putting dedicated to my hero, Timothy McVeigh. He was right about modern society on the first page. Surefire way to put anyone who was interested off. LOL.
oh man.
Another comment: you accepted slash overlooked his obsession with OJS up to the point where you realize your non-writer boyfriend had ground out a sci-fi manuscript with your help, just so he could use the dedication page in a self-published novel to flog this theory and try to get the attention of OJS. I understand why this might have been a tipping point. You're realizing his obsession is perhaps extreme, unhealthy, unattractive, and you know he tricked you into helping him by not revealing his true reason for wanting to publish a book. Maybe you're standing too close to this to see exactly how strange it is. Nah, I don't think your BF is an AH, but he's taken a very deep dive down the rabbit hole and is digging faster and deeper all the time.
Pause.
Last comment, last comment. There's a joke I heard growing up. I don't remember the exact punchline. Oh man, why would you tell the joke? But it starts with a guy asking, quote, "Did anything happen while I was gone?" End quote. The other person goes, "No, nothing happened aside from the parrot passing away." Oh, all right. Well, how did it pass away? Well, he burned during the kitchen fire. Wait, there was a kitchen fire? Oh, yeah, well, when the robbers came in, they accidentally caused a fire. There was a robbery, and so on and so on. This whole OJ obsession is the unaliving of the parrot. The more I read the comments, the messier the guy gets. The OJ thing is definitely not the outlier, and I think this guy is definitely a theorist. And
Yeah.
so on and so forth. Guys, let us know in the comment section
And
what
put
your
them into the terrorist group.
yeah.
Otherwise, come on. Come on. Last time they were claiming people were terrorists. People were injected. Let's start the show. Let's start the show.
The city, I see blood.
Yo, the show's already off the rails. We didn't
Blood.
My God. Hey, let's start the show. Man.
Yo, let's start. Hey. Welcome to another edition, guys, of the Double Dot Show, where we discuss random topics and try to explore uncommon lessons from commonplace situations. I'm RJ here with KR. In today's show, we'll discuss OJ Simpson, Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard, and other topics in a short dot segment. I like that. Uh, so let's go immediately to the first topic.
Let's do this.
Yes, yes. Let's jump into the first topic. Guys, remember to rate the show by pressing that like button. Don't forget to follow us on all socials and to subscribe on the YouTube channel. OJ Simpson. OJ Simpson, his last Bronco ride. Oh, man. He passed away last week after a short battle of cancer, I think. And no, not I think, it was cancer.
It
I don't
was.
know if it was short or not, but yeah, passed away. Uh, RJ, OJ. Everyone has an opinion on OJ. One thing that has overshadowed, of course, his life, his legacy, is what that controversial not guilty verdict. Probably one of the biggest not guilty verdict in the last 30, 40 years, maybe. Who knows? But he was a legendary. Let's start at the beginning of his life. He was a legendary running back. He was doing numbers no one was doing at that time. Then turned into an actor. And then turned into whatever we know him as these days. I'm not gonna use the word. Oh, should I use the word?
Mm,
Deleter.
a deleter, an alleged deleter
Alleged
who
leader who, well,
was never
who's never
found.
been convicted for
No.
deleting people. Well, he's been convicted for robbing later on in his life.
Yeah, that's yeah.
That's a crazy story by itself. One thing you can tell is basically the guy has had a very interesting life story.
Yeah.
Ups and downs. Ups and downs.
Hmm.
It also proves that it's important to choose the right life partner. With partner, I mean wife or husband. In this case, one chose the other, they chose each other, and then something happened that transpired into a deletion of two people. I think it's very interesting, though, that at the end of his life, he joined It Is What It Is, and then that's probably how most people in the urban community will probably remember him. Who've been watching that show at least. He seems like a very and it doesn't. I mean, let me start by saying I separate what happened, the verdict, and what he was in these shows. He seems like a very nice guy, a funny guy as well.
Yeah. Um, he does, but you need to remember one thing, KR. You can do a lot of things in your life, but if you are involved in a deletion case, that will trump overshadow everything else. So he was a great athlete. He was an actor. He transitioned to acting, and I think he was going places. And the fact that he could transition so easily into It Is What It Is, into so the content creation space on Cam Amaze's platform, It Is What It Is. At least their show, and to see them talking about their experience with OJ. So with them, I mean Cam and
MMA.
Mace, saying how great it was to see. Oops, my bad. Can you put the banner back? How great it was to see. How great it was to see the OJ preparing for the show. So they were saying that every week he was well prepared for the shows. You know, I think to him as well, it was a great opportunity, a great way to end his life.
Yeah.
Um, we make mistakes. We all make mistakes, and there are a lot of people, I think, that are now popular and in the mainstream media, but have had a past in gangbanging that will
Hey, wait, which one? Pause.
no, I mean, I'm not talking about Diddy right now. I'm just talking about the. I mean, but you understand what I'm saying,
Yeah, I
right?
know what you mean. I know what you
So,
mean. I know what you
but we just don't know about them, and people still like them, right?
mean.
So it's. I do think that there are a lot of people with skeletons in their closet. It just happened that OJ skeleton was on a national stage.
Wide open. What
Yes,
one thing I'll say though, and that is true. What you're saying is that the transition has been easy for him. Don't forget, he was the very first big athlete that had endorsements, even before Jordan. So he was the face back then of the National Football League, but also much more than that, like you said, like transitioning to acting, and then transitioning to jail counseling, and then now to it is what it is.
Yeah. And but it also goes to show you one more thing here. You just need to make one mistake in your life that will change the whole trajectory of your life. So you can do everything right. And sometimes, but I mean, you just need to do one thing wrong and it can change your whole trajectory. We talked about, for example, Jonathan Majors a couple of shows ago. Well, now it seems that he's done more things wrong, allegedly. So it wasn't just a one-time incident, but
Hey,
it was a one-time incident
don't forget
that.
what I said.
What did you say?
Once one story pops out.
All will pop out. Yeah. So,
Sorry,
but
sorry.
that was yeah, but that was like a clear case. That's like a clear example of how someone who was basically soaring and heading to the top
He was heading to the top. Yep.
in just like a couple of months, everything came tumbling down. All opportunities were taken away from him. It's just one mistake that you make. So I'm not surprised. So I'm not surprised to hear or to hear you say that he's a very likable guy, because when you look at the show, he is a very likable guy. But someone can be likable and still do something wrong, and it's like a duality that just exists everywhere. But a
Mhm.
lot of people need to be either pro or against every time, everything. And but in reality, things are more complicated than that. So I do think that whatever you want to say, he's left a mark on this earth, positively and negatively, as we all do. Only thing is, he made it on a
On a big stage, in a big
big
stage,
stage.
man. It's
But I
crazy.
know who will.
Hmm?
So, sorry, my last thought. I know who will play him in his biography when they have a movie. I know who will play him. Um, it's someone who has had a similar career, well, life to a certain extent, right? Um, and I'm saying this based on the title of this segment, right? Russell Wilson, because Russell Wilson.
Yep. Yo, let's ride. Broncos, let's ride. Oh my God.
It was also Russell Wilson's last ride with the
Yeah,
Broncos this season. So I
that
think it
ended
would just be,
badly.
yeah.
But yeah. That's a good one, by the way. I didn't even catch that one. Man, but yeah, man. Like you said, he's gonna be. It's always like people will always. It's always gonna be a topic people will talk about, whether he was guilty or not. In 30 years, probably people will forget this whole thing. But when this generation is still alive, it's still going to be a topic.
Yeah.
Of course, all these theories, right? There have been theories where they are saying. I was wondering the Reddit story you started with. Did she tell what the conspiracy theorist theory was? That her boyfriend had, relating to who did it. Did she write anything about it? Oh, such a shame.
No, no.
I was curious, but there have been a lot of stories, theories actually, about what happened that night. The one that is the
Prevalent.
big one, the yes, is that he did it, and it was all because of jealousy. Um, and that he was the one who poked everyone there, in a sense, and cut off heads. Another theory, and these are all alleged theories, right? So I'm not saying one is the other. The other one was that it was his son who did it.
His son?
Yeah, that's what they are saying. There are a lot of
Mm.
theories out there. Um, it had to do with some catering stuff, and him being in a hole after catering, something like that. You also have the another angle to the whole story, and that's the other theory, but people are saying it was the cartelos who did it,
Okay.
because from what the story goes is that the ex-wife of OJ was a addict,
Okay.
and that the guy that was there at the moment of the deletion was her supplier. But the
Okay.
problem is she had like it was 50 or 100,000 debt. So it was an open tap. And he was always saying OJ is gonna take care of it, and never did. So that's another theory that has been going around. Not sure what is true. I mean,
Yeah.
back in the days in the 80s, don't forget in the 80s, it's not called cocaine 80s for a reason. For no reason. People were using, and crime was all over the place.
Yeah.
And these cartello people were fairly very um let's go. They would keep the leash short when it
Yeah.
comes to these things. But who knows, man? Maybe it wasn't him. And maybe he was there while the cartel was doing the job, and he was like, "Oh, I can do nothing. I'm not gonna pay. Good luck with you
Yeah.
guys."
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows?
I mean, the last story seems to me a bit far fetched, or at least the last believable one. Let me put it like that.
Yeah.
The last believable one. The second one is a possibility because a father will do everything to protect his son, right?
Yep.
So that does seem so. I'm basing this purely based on what you're saying,
Mhm.
not based on the evidence,
Evidence and all
the
that stuff.
evidence and those type of things. Because I mean, just like the story. I mean, there's always a motive, right? When things like this happen, and I'm just saying that story sounds like a good motive and a good reason as well for someone to just shut his mouth and don't
Don't tell
um
anything.
yeah. The thing I think that made matters worse, however, is not the verdict but what he did afterwards.
You mean the book?
Because the book and the
The
trolling, yeah. Yeah. So I think that was the matter that made things worse, because okay, you get prosecuted and you're found innocent. It's done there, right? But if you go, I didn't do it, but if you write a book saying I didn't do it, but if I did, this is how I would have done it. It's like, yeah, it's
poking the bear.
yeah, it's overkill in my opinion. So I think that is what actually made everything worse.
Yeah. Hey man, at the end of the day, it's about like I said before in the beginning of the show, right? It's very important who you choose, because now you see that he chose someone that was maybe putting his face to shame by having her let's alleged 304 face after their separation, and he felt maybe shamed, jealous of what was happening. His ex-wife is out here doing everyone in Hollywood, and you're out there standing like a sucker because you were the one who wifed it initially.
Her
And for her, on her side, if he was
wifed her. You said wifed it.
well, I don't know what kind of did I say it? Okay.
Yeah, you did. But
People
anyway,
might
let's go. Let's go.
think women
Let's
as possession or something. Oh my god, that could be.
go. Yeah.
That's not true, guys. That's not true. No, but all jokes aside, and on her side, that could be that you're marrying someone who's not stable. If he was the one who did it, who knows who did it? He got
Yeah.
a non guilty verdict. So I don't know. But this is our show is about learning, and like you said, one mistake on both sides turned into a disaster, destroyed
Yeah.
everyone's life in this case.
Yeah. it takes years and years to build an empire, but you can lose it in 1 second. Just by making one crucial mistake, and that mistake can be intentional, but can also be unintentional. For example, Alec the Alec
Oh, yeah.
Baldwin situation,
Yeah.
where he was on set with a uh, prop firearm that,
Supposedly.
that
Pro-
yeah that he thought it was a prop. I mean, it was supposed to be a prop, I think, and he thought that it was prop, and he aimed it and pulled the trigger and actually unalived someone.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, that's also something that shouldn't have happened. It seems like it's the mistake of the prop, the person in charge of the props.
Yeah.
But
There
yeah,
are a
I
lot
mean,
of stories about that where they were cutting budgets. They had a assistant doing it instead of the person they hired initially. It's a mess.
yeah,
And I'm still being charged for
yeah,
deletion,
yeah.
by the way.
That's what I'm saying. But whether he's you will be found innocent or guilty doesn't matter, because even if he's found innocent, it wouldn't change the fact that he unalived someone,
Yep. It
and
changes you.
it changes you. It definitely changes you. So it's a very, I mean, that's how life is. You can lose everything in 1 second, and none of us is above it.
Can happen to everyone. Yeah.
It can happen to everyone, whether you can, yeah. So yeah, but in any case, um,
One last thing, and
yeah,
in a situation like this, you always have to have some kind of humor to it attached, right? You have to have. I mean, that's how we process trauma usually. Dark humor.
yeah,
And who else is better at dark humor? Well, what do you want to say? Ninja humor? No, I'm just kidding. Who else is better at dark humor than Norm Macdonald? Norm, what a
yeah,
legend he
yeah,
was.
he was, yeah.
So let me give a couple of uh, goodbyes, good riddance to OJ by playing this one. And yeah, Norm commenting on the case.
In a brilliant move
Fair
during
use.
closing arguments,
Are you here?
Simpson attorney Johnny Cochran put on the knit cap prosecutors say O.J. wore the night he committed the murders. Although O.J. may have hurt his case when he suddenly blurted out, hey, easy with that. That's my lucky stabbing hat. Well, let's get to O.J. O.J. Simpson's lawyers say they don't want the families of Nicole Brown and Ronald Goldman in the courtroom during the trial. They're afraid the presence of the family members will just remind O.J. of how much more killing he still has to do. O.J. Simpson's lawyers have decided to skip hearings on DNA evidence and go right to trial. Asked why they did this, the lawyers replied, we want to get O.J. acquitted as speedily as possible so he can get back to doing what he does best, killing people. According to retailers, the most popular Halloween mask this year is O.J. Simpson. And the most popular Halloween greeting is, I'll kill you and that guy who's bringing over your glasses, or treat. In his book, O.J. Simpson says that he would have taken a bullet or stood in front of a train for Nicole. Man, I'm going to tell you, that is some bad luck when the one guy who would have died for you kills you. That's probably... In other book news, Prince Charles released an autobiography in which he states that he never loved Princess Di and that his father pressured him to marry her. The book is entitled, Of Course O.J. Did It. I mean, come on. And the Pope came out with a book this week, which contains a series of essays examining faith and morality in today's secular world and the changing role of the Catholic Church as it approaches the 21st century. The book is entitled, God Himself Told Me That O.J. is Guilty.
Shout out to Norm, man. He was a legend, and those are strong strong lines. Let's continue
Yeah.
with the show, man. You want to say something?
No, I'm done. I don't have to say anything else. It's just wish the family of OG, of course, strength during this time,
Yeah.
and yeah, his legacy will continue to live on, both the positive and the not so positive one.
Yep. So let's continue with the another story, which also relates to choosing the right partner, the right life partner. LA mom rants about the apocalypse and later on deletes her whole family,
Mm.
which were the kids and her husband. So it all started earlier last week during the eclipse situation when there was an eclipse. We all know that that's been a big news, and she
Mhm.
started posting all these weird messages on Twitter. The first one was, wake up, the apocalypse is here. Everyone who has ears, listen. Your time to choose what you believe in is now. If you believe a new world is possible for the people, RT now. There is power in choice. There is power in choice. Repost to make the choice for the collective. She then proceed by saying the following: this eclipse is the epitome of spiritual warfare. Get your protection on and your heart in the right place. The world is very obviously changing right now. And
Mhm.
if you ever needed to pick a side, the time to do right in your life is now. Stay strong. You got this. Then she continued by saying, magic is real, spirits are real, gods are real, devils pro are real. Religion is not. Ooh. Anything that bars personal interaction with the spirit world is not. Anything that tells you the spirit world is limited to just prayers to one set of gods is not real. It's not real. Know your gods with a S at the end. They do. Then she followed up by deleting her husband,
Oh my god. Oh
her
my god.
kids. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. Her kids, and then to do herself in, she decided to run into a tree with the car at full speed. And this is what was left of the car. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like I
Mm.
said, like we said, the um the person you choose to live your life with can be a huge favor, value to you, or
Yeah.
it can be your end.
Yeah. I was commenting this yesterday, KR. I was talking to a colleague of mine, and she was telling me about the she was telling me about a situation she had with an ex who she dated for a brief period of time,
Mm.
and telling me how she was very excited, right? Very excited about the having someone. The guy was a very successful guy and he had a good job, high managerial position, had enough money, and she's an entrepreneur herself. So she thought, okay, great, we have two people who can, interact on the same level
Power
with each other.
couple.
A power couple. Yeah, well, yeah, probably. And but the point is that when they started dating, the guy apparently was intimidated by her because she can she can provide for herself already. But I also told her, you know what, when you act like that, when you're too excited, guys aren't like that. So guys will think, oh, you're expecting something from me, and so on and so forth. But that's what's how the conversation started. But it really went deeper. And what I told her was, and she could relate, was that a strong couple takes time. I mean, it's not like when you see each other, it's attraction. But to be a
Yeah.
strong couple, it takes time. You need to learn to get to know each other, learn to love each other in all situations, learn to stay committed to each other in all situations.
Your
Through
chemistry.
yeah, through ups and downs. It doesn't come easy. And I told her, when you have a good woman and you can uh, you learn to work with each other, and the other way around, you have a good man and learn to work with each other, it can be a very strong thing because it's like two people. You got each other's backs.
Yeah.
But if you can't achieve that level, I believe the chaos can be very extreme as well. In other words, the chemistry of a couple can be very powerful. It's just you needing to figure out, you need to figure out a way to control that power, to keep that power under control. Because if that power takes over, it's gonna ruin
Mhm.
your
Chaos.
life, or at least a period of your life.
Chaos. Not
Chaos.
power.
Unfortunately, in a relationship, well, it's not unfortunately, it's the way it is. You need both people to be committed and not insane.
Doesn't work with one of you are insane. Yes.
You
Either both
can
have to be insane or both have to be sane.
you cannot have a healthy relationship
Yeah.
if all the sanity and commitment is
Burden.
coming from one person. It
Yeah,
needs to come
doesn't
from
work.
both persons.
Yeah.
So this lady seems to me to have been a person that needed special attention.
Mhm.
And so no matter what the guy did, or let me change it, I believe there's nothing the guy could have done to prevent this. Because never in your life can you, I mean, you see people doing things, but never in your life can you think, oh, this woman will actually go and unalive the family and herself.
Oh,
It just happens like that.
oh, you see,
Hindsight is 2020 for
it's
those
not
of us who are
hindsight,
alive,
though.
maybe.
Most of the time, you can see someone's insanity though, but you brush it under the table. That's the problem most of the time.
What you do, for example, you don't. You don't.
Well,
You see, I mean, you and I are different in this sense. I'm the one that would say, I'm the person that would say, yeah, but it's just her quirk. It's just her quirk.
yeah.
It's just her. But you judge people harshly, like, oh,
No, no.
I'm never going out with her again.
Well,
Drinking out of two
is a hard
straws.
word. I mean, I'm very well. I know for a fact what some things lead to.
Yeah.
So I'm not judgmental. Those two different things. I'm okay with people how they are,
Mhm.
but just
Not around you.
not around me, please, please don't. If you want to live a certain lifestyle, I'm okay with it. And to me, yeah, I don't know, man. It's I people brush things a lot under the table in order to either be in a relationship or to stay in a relationship because it, it could have different reasons. People are trauma bonding. People are they are afraid of letting go. They have built like they say, I've wasted time basically with her, so I already invested so much time in him or her, so I rather stay with them. All those things. But well, I'm the one who always pulls the parachute as soon as I
Yeah,
see.
you do it immediately, man. What's your name? Jessica.
No, no. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. Don't try to put me like this. Yo. But yeah, hey, it is what it is. You find yourself being deleted, then then you think, oh man, shoot,
Yeah.
I've seen this coming. I knew she
Yeah.
was crazy. But yeah,
Yeah,
it-
that's why that
it's
yeah,
unfortunate.
yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah, that's why I always say hindsight is 2020 for us who are still alive. For the other people, they're in a place where there's no time and space. So
Yep.
it is what it is. An unfortunate story.
Yes, yes. Let's go to the second topic of today. That
Yes.
will be Super Mayor. There are
Yeah.
some new developments here.
Yes, yes. The second topic of today. Remember, guys, before we proceed, you take the to rate the show by pressing the like button, share the video with your friends, your family, and your enemies. Don't forget to follow us on our socials and subscribe and to the YouTube channel and hit that notification bell. KR.
Yes, yes. Residents of Dalton, the city of Dalton, are fed up with the Dolton Dictator. Tiffany Henyard, Super Mayor, City Girl Mayor. I don't know what are other AKAs they are, but she's the one who's being watched by the feds right now. So the
She is.
story goes as follows. Um, there has been, I mean, we have covered her for a long time now. A lot of scandals, embezzlement, ethics violations, her job, her covering two jobs at the same time, her getting protection, 24/7 protection from police, a base which is raking up a bill of almost 1 million. And they are 2 million in a hole. The budget is there's a 2 million deficit. So I guess 1 million you can only account for right away. But basically, they want her to step down. They are pushing it. Um, but yeah, she's still standing strong,
Yeah.
like a real. I'm not gonna say what I'm. She's still standing strong. Let's keep it to that. There was this meeting with the Totten Township on last Tuesday, and what happened was that they were confronting her. People, while she was sitting there, and you won't believe this, she was sitting there. What do you see the color of the microphone?
No.
Such a
Wait,
shame.
wait. Let me just open the screen up. It's a gold mic.
With the gold mic, the mayor has a gold mic. She was sitting there and basically commenting on this
Yeah.
whole thing. She basically said, "My comment is it's a public comment. When you don't, let me see. Um, let me can find if I can find her statement." Yes, we are here to help each other and not to hurt each other. And it's a shame that us, I'm talking to my black and brown communities, would sit here and fight.
Wait. It's a shame that we are sitting here at fight, right? And fight, right?
It's a shame that us, that's literally what she said. Us, they put us.
Yeah.
I'm talking to my black and brown communities.
Yeah.
Would sit here and fight. Yeah, man. I mean, at this point, it's clear that people are starting to stand up to her craziness because, I mean, the city is has a 2 million deficit.
Yeah. And the using the race card will only get you so far. So she's already used the that argument, right? Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all black. Y'all attacking a black mayor.
Black woman, not
A black woman. Not talking about the facts, right? How much she's spending, how she's using the police force, how she's torturing and traumatizing the citizens of Dalton. But it will only get you so far. Um, I will say this though, that the stories are continuing to pile up. This is not something that she can sweep under the rug. And I believe that investigations are on their way. So I think it's just a matter of time.
Yes, they are on the way. I'm gonna cover that next up. But before I continue, one thing, and again, it's about learning from the situation. She got to be, she was elected to be the mayor. Now she's screwing everything up, and possibly she's gonna end in a jail cell.
She is.
Possibly. I mean, it's crazy if you think about it, right? You get you get an opportunity to do better, to do good, and then now you're screwing everything up. By the way, one thing you said, the race card, she's trying to pull it. You know when the race card works and when it doesn't?
It doesn't work with your own people.
You can't pull the race card on another black person, man.
If you look, you look
We
at
are
that.
human.
Yeah, if you look at those
Human.
meetings, there's only black people there.
Yeah,
And now you're trying to pull the race car. It's nah,
that's
it's not.
crazy. But there is an investigation on the way, man. The village also voted on someone who will investigate this situation, and
Chipmunk.
to our surprise, to my surprise, I don't know, I don't know how she got into this mess, but the legendary former mayor of uh, of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot, um, as you can see here on the pictures, she was doing her speech. Apparently, I didn't know that she was a former prosecutor, federal prosecutor,
Mm,
before she turned into a mayor.
mm,
We all know what happened during her time in Chicago. Well,
mhm.
nothing happened. A lot of bodies dropped, but nothing happened. Like, so she's gonna investigate and
Yeah.
dig into Dalton's multi-million-dollar deficit of around 2 million, and also the misdeeds of Mayor Tiffany Henyard,
Yeah.
super mayor Dolton Dictator.
Yeah.
And guess how much she's gonna earn?
600,000.
I don't know what her billable hours will be, but she's gonna earn about $400 an hour.
Okay.
By the standards of Nathan Wade, she might become a millionaire after this. He's gonna bill like Nathan Wade. We have a
No.
millionaire.
But $400 is like an average.
Yes, but it's about the hours. It's not about the. It's not
No,
about
no,
the.
no. I know, but I'm just saying, like, that's the if you're hiring a service provider, the service provider doesn't provide a product. The service provider provides. I'm afraid to use I don't know, time. I'm just gonna skip the. I'm just gonna. I don't want to misgender. So, but let me put this: Lori Lightfoot, aka Triple Threat. This woman will be in charge. I hope.
Oh, you would say Beetlejuice. Thank God you didn't say Beetlejuice.
Don't say it one more time. This woman has her own. So Lori Lightfoot has her own things going on, right? The drama in Chicago had at least,
Pat,
and
yeah.
so it's a bit. I would think that they would hire someone who has less of a baggage. On the other hand, Lori Lightfoot is known, or at least knows, has experience in Chicago, in Illinois, so probably can work faster, get things done faster. And just because someone isn't really successful as a mayor doesn't mean that that person isn't a good prosecutor. So um yeah, so that's just we'll need to wait and see what would happen. I was also surprised when I saw who is going to
Lead.
lead the investigation. Yeah.
Hey man, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe there will not be. The crazy part. Wouldn't that be crazy if the result of the investigation is there is nothing going on here?
I mean, if that's the result, then I think Crazy is not the word I would use. I would say concerning.
Let me write the timestamp of this show because we need to cut this out for another. Let me write the timestamp down.
So you can use it. I knew it. That's gonna
I'm
be a
gonna
future.
copy that. I'm gonna copy it and use it when it
Yeah,
happens.
we're gonna create a clip every time DTS was right. Double Touch Show was right.
Yo, we've been batting like 90% at this point.
We're the new Simpsons.
95.
We're the new Simpsons. Well, I guess the Boondocks.
Hey man, hey, it's crazy. And to close it out, I think we will have to see what comes out of this investigation. Like I said, I'm not sure what will come out. I mean, wouldn't surprise me if nothing comes out. Would be typical for an investigation like this. I wonder if she finds anything. What will happen? Will she step down? Will she not? We'll see in the future, man.
Yeah, I don't think she will step down. That's the whole thing, right? She's like a narcissist, actually. So I don't think she will step down. The problem is that there will come a time that she will have to step down. So she's not going to step down before the end of her term,
Mm.
but she will step down at one point. And when that happens, the feds are already on her tail. So it's just straight to the bus.
Straight to the
Yeah.
bus.
Yeah.
She'll step down and step into the car.
Yeah.
Chained
Exactly. Yeah.
like Django.
I just I just think it's the people of Dalton who selected her. They probably believed in her. A young black woman trying to make a change. She talks very good. She talks very convincingly. She can speak Ebonics. She just speaks Ebonics in public places, in formal settings. So I think people are they feel like a certain level of relatability.
Yeah.
But you can talk like that and still work the way you're supposed to work on behalf of the people that you're representing. And I think a lot of people of Dalton are disappointed in that. And yeah, I think she's doing the people who voted for her wrong and a disservice by acting the way she's acting.
Yes. Let's continue the show. Good luck to her, because luck she'll need in order to avoid that jail sentence. Uh, Engineer Nicolae Mew found guilty of deletion. This was one of the biggest story last week as well. Let's close today's show with these topics. It's basically, as usual, the short thought topics where we are going to give a short response on commonplace situations and trending news. Don't
Yes. So, guys, while we're closing it, so this is the last segment. Remember as well to rate the show by pressing the like button, share the video with your friends, your family, and your enemies. Follow us on our socials and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so you stay up to date when we drop new videos. KR.
Yes. So this is one of the controversial verdicts of last week. Nikolai Miu. I mean, guys, if you want to see the video, you can go on. I'm not gonna show it because there is a part where the guy, his intestines seem to be pulled out, or you can see blood spreading out all over the place. But you can search it up on your own time, on your own dime, on X or Twitter. But yeah, it's a crazy story. So apparently the story goes is that the guy was searching for an iPhone. He went in the neighborhood of a couple of guys with tubes. It's on the one of the rivers. I don't know which river. I think it was in Minnesota. And basically it started he was looking for the iPhone, which was dropped during the tubing by his group, and then another group was standing where he was trying to search for that iPhone, and that turned into a hostile situation, where they were accusing him of being a diddler, kitty diddler, um, Geppetto, as some would say, um, and somehow people were getting into his face. I mean, everyone was drunk there. It's clear. If you watch the video, it's clear that everyone was drinking and under influence, either alcohol and or weed.
Yep.
And stay off the weed. Anyway, um, one thing led to another. He pulled out his I think it's a Swiss Army knife. I think it was, and he tried to, in his own story, try to defend himself by because they were pushing him down. Apparently, he, according to the witness accounts,
Yeah.
he slapped a woman first, and then they pushed him down, started hitting him in the floor, hitting him on his head, and he basically pulled out his knife and then started poking a couple of people, and one guy died because of that, and he poked a number of other people in the process. Um, yeah, and yeah,
Yeah.
the prosecution was able to present a story that the jurors could believe, and they sentenced him. Well, no, they didn't sentence him. They found him guilty on all accounts.
Yeah.
Ajay.
Yeah, of course, you can see the whole video because the people started recording midway.
Yeah.
So you don't know, you can only go off the information provided by, so the video and the witness testimonies, right?
Yeah.
What they say happened. But when in on the recording, you could see like an older man being surrounded by a couple of, I don't know, adolescents, maybe young adults.
Yeah, the animals, yeah.
And the thing is about people like that, young people, men in general, the testosterone is through the roof, and you have something to prove because you're the man. And it also seems like they were trying to bully him, right?
Yeah.
When I saw the video, it seemed to me like they were bullying because they were laughing at the
Yeah.
situation. If this was like a serious situation, their attitudes would have been completely different. But in this case, they were just laughing and pushing him and so on and so forth. I do think indeed that alcohol played a role in everyone there, or at least in general. The thing is, when I heard that the person has been convicted, I was on the one hand shocked because if you see the video, the first emotion that comes to mind and the first thought is, hey, this man is being abused by a couple of young adults, right? Who are maybe stronger, faster, whatever.
Mhm.
But, and that's the lawyer in me, fact of the matter is that's I know better. So that's
Mhm.
I explain the person, like the person, and now the lawyer. Not that the lawyer isn't a person, but in any case, the lawyer in me knows what the rules are for
Do
self-defense.
lawyers have souls? I'm just kidding.
So the rules of self-defense, right? And there are different kinds of states, stand your ground states and so on and so forth. But in any case, in this situation, they were all in a public setting. And self-defense has a high probability to succeed if you can prove or convince the judge or the jury
Jurors, yeah.
that you didn't have any other alternative. So if if you and I, KaiR, have a dispute and I decide and you corner me, and there's no way to go to you corner me and I defend myself and something happens, then it's self-defense.
Mhm.
If you and I have a confrontation and there's a stare and you're saying you're gonna hit me, for example, or you want to fight me, and there's a door right there for me to leave, and I don't take the door, then it's not self-defense because I had an alternative. But fact of the matter is as well that these situations change by the second.
Yes.
So it can be that you corner me. If I attack you, then it can be self-defense. But then you say, you know what? Never mind this. And you turn around and I attack you, then it's not self-defense anymore. So the jury would, and that's what how the lawyers would have presented it in this case, second by second. Like here, the person had the opportunity to leave. Why didn't he leave?
Yeah.
And if the guy pushed him and he did something immediately, then it would have been self-defense.
Yeah.
But then the guy steps back and now he approaches, then it's not self-defense anymore.
Yeah, so it's seconds. It's
It's
just
a second thing. So it's not just because you're feeling in that you're in danger that you can do something. It's the self-defense really requires more than that. So again, a moment just seems to be the theme of this show.
just a moment.
You just need one moment to throw away your life, just because you might have been intoxicated, trying to look for an iPhone, an object.
It was from someone from his group, not even his own iPhone.
Not even his
And
own
they told
iPhone.
them, leave it. Don't worry about it. It's
Yeah.
insured, so I can get a new one.
Yeah.
And not only that, I'll be honest. In the beginning of this, I also watched it. I was like, "This is self-defense," but then they showed the video of him talking to the police after. I was like, "This is where he screwed up. This is where he screwed up." I'm gonna show it real quick, and then we can go to the last topic of today. I want to give also, you can give some comments on this. Guys, don't forget to let us know in the comments what you think about this whole situation. And of course, I'm gonna say fair use. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Some people gather around it.
Okay. All right.
And I went over to talk to see.
Looking through that now. Did you see that fight on the river?
I heard about it.
You heard about it?
Yeah, and I seen people gather around it.
Okay. All right.
And I went over to talk to see if somebody saw anything, but that's about it.
Okay.
Our whole group was pretty interested in finding out what happened.
Okay. And that's your whole group over there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So I don't know. Okay, well,
Did you see anybody injured?
no.
You didn't see anybody injured?
No.
Did you see anybody fighting?
I heard people screaming at each other, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Screaming in anger or screaming in pain? Do you know?
Everybody's drunk, so I don't know. I can't tell the difference, but I would say, I don't know, just screaming.
Okay.
You know, yeah, calling each other names. But, that's, I've seen that all day.
You get the gist. You get the gist. What you can clearly see, and what was pointed out by the prosecution, is that this guy was sitting there and lying to the cops.
Yeah.
What could have helped him, and this is why you don't. Well, you gotta choose when to lie or when not to lie. Maybe it's best to lie to your wife that you're cheating. Not saying that is ethical, but whatever. Lying to the cops while you are in the middle. what
I
is
don't know. I don't agree with that at all.
I'm talking to people, right? I'm talking to people. You may the consequences. What I'm trying to allude to is the consequences can be very different to who you're lying to. In this case, he's lying to the cops while he was the one who did the poking.
Yeah.
That's gonna be used against you in court because why are you lying? If he would have said, if he would have told the truth, like saying, I felt threatened at that moment. I tried to defend myself. That makes a better case later in court. Or you know what's better, RJ?
What?
A lawyer once told me,
What?
when the police is talking to you, what do?
STFU.
Yes. Yes. And for those who cannot spell or don't know what he's trying to say, you just shut up.
Yeah. The yes and no, in the sense that well, I do agree with yes, shutting up, of course.
Yeah.
Especially if you did it, because and especially if you're intoxicated as well, because once you give that testimony, you can't say, "Oh, I was drunk." You already said it,
Yes,
and I don't know if
it's what they said actually. His whole testimony after this happened, they played him for him and the whole thing didn't make any sense.
No.
And they said basically you were lying to the police. In addition to this, so this is just a part of the whole thing, the whole story he told. He told, you know what he said? He
What?
said he wrestled the knife out of someone's hands and poked him with the knife. Dude, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So I agree with you.
Yeah.
Listen to a lawyer.
Yeah.
Not saying he's a lawyer, though. It's not giving advice, by the way.
I'm not, definitely not.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, fully agree. So it's a shame, but you need to carry the consequences of your actions. And the law is, because some people might think, oh, this isn't fair or just. But the law isn't fair or just. It's just a set of rules that has as a main purpose, one of the main purposes to maintain order. And how do you maintain order? By having a system that will enforce or at least will punish bad behavior. And yeah, he unalived someone. He lied about it initially, and
And
that definitely played a role. If on in his testimony he was like scared and saying, "Oh, crying like they were attacking me," that definitely would have had an impact. I mean, to his advantage.
yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is. Being drunk is not, by the way, something that you can use. You can say act of God when you're drunk. So so so
Yeah.
um an act of God can be an earthquake. You don't have a control over that. So if an earthquake happens, something happens that you have no control over. Self-defense is also like something that you don't have no control over. You just need to react to it. Then yes, that can be seen as that can give you an exemption, right? You can be exempted from punishment because there's a valid reason, namely something happened outside of your control that basically put you in a difficult situation. But drinking is not one, because when you drink, you know what the risks are. You know that you're gonna lose control over yourself to a certain extent, and you know that you're gonna be looser, and that's
Paul.
on you. Pause. When you pull out a weapon or a sharp object and you start swinging it around, even if you don't intend to inflict harm on someone specifically, anyone knows that by um
Swinging around.
yeah what did you say?
Swinging around.
Yeah, swinging it around, making like gestures, being very reckless with it,
Mhm.
can
Lead to. Yeah.
lead to injury. And
Yeah.
if that injury leads to the unaliving of someone, you can say, oh, what, I was swinging it around, but it wasn't my intention to unalive. When you act a certain way that's risky, you know that there's that can be a possibility.
Yeah.
And you decided to do it anyway. Just like driving fast. If you're driving over the speed limit, you don't intend to cause an accident. But when you cause the accident, your intention doesn't matter. It just matters that you were driving over the speed limit. So yeah, it's a shame, but it is what it is.
This is what it is, man. Good luck to him. Good riddance too. And hey, and the crazy part is this is white on white crime anyway.
Oh man, Godspeed.
Aoki Simmons, Dabbles in the sugar zone. That was also a trending topic. Let's keep it short. The case was that Aoki Lee went on vacation with her boyfriend. She's 21, he's 65, if I'm not mistaken. And they were at St. Bart's, I think, on one of those islands. And she was being photographed, and she was making videos, sharing them on Instagram, I think. That resulted in a big question. The question was, is she a sugar baby or not? Well, she wasn't long enough, because after the vacation, he broke up with her and she's back to mama's house. Anyway, RJ.
Yeah, I mean, this is like what you do in your private life is just what you want to do in your private life. And the sugar daddy era is on
It's upon us.
full speed. It's just on full speed.
Crazy, yo.
I mean, we know it's not love, but the guy showed her a good time, provided certain experiences that she hasn't experienced in a while since the dad isn't living in the US anymore. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's it's something that we know through ages that a man that has money can attract very beautiful women, young women, and a young woman like that, beautiful woman, wants to have a nice experience as well without having to stress about the money and things like that. So it is what it is. Everyone has the right to do whatever they want to their in their with their lives. I mean, it's her private life. So yeah,
Love is love.
I
All
didn't say
you
love.
need is love. Do, 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 do. All you need is love. Hey, good luck to her. Maybe
Yeah.
she'll find a new boyfriend after this. Someone who is willing to do more than one vacation and a bunch of anyway.
Yeah.
Well, she was telling her dad that if he wouldn't raise her, let's call it her
Allowance?
contribution allowance, she would have to do things that there are some videos out there
Some
of them.
faces.
It's they were on live, IG live, talking to each other, and she
So
said,
so Russell Simmons and
yes,
her.
they were talking to each other, and she said, you gotta increase my allowance because otherwise I'll have to do and she said I'll have to do a campaign promoting meat. Well, you know the dad is vegan, I think, something like that, or
Yeah, yes, yeah.
so she was saying I'm gonna promote meat, but you can take meat in different ways. Pause. You can promote meat in different ways. It could have been animal meat, but it could have been also sugar daddy 65-year-old. That's also
Yeah.
meat.
But didn't she say on in one video that she would look for a sugar daddy as well in the past?
Yo, it's crazy. I'm not
So
gonna
so
go.
like jokingly, she did say it jokingly, but apparently
But it's not. It's never jokes.
predictive programming here.
Most of the time, well, she learned it from her mom. Anyway, let's close out the show, man. I'm not
Oh
gonna say who she
man.
learned it from, but everyone knows the sentence. He
Yeah.
learned it from her. And
Yeah,
it wasn't
yeah.
the dad. Let's continue. Let's close out the show, man. Thank you for
Hey guys, yes, if you made it this far, thanks for watching and listening to the full show. Whatever your thoughts are, please let us know in the comment section below. Rate the show by pressing the like button, share the video with your friends, your family, and your enemies. Like the video, of course, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you stay up to date when we drop new videos. Let's have a healthy conversation in the comment section. Until next time,
peace.
peace.